And then I give you that, and I try to hold you to the fact that this is the price. And I try to close you on giving me that amount of money before I go to a payment. Your payment actually turns into your drop. Think about that psychologically. He's now, I've worked him at $1.5 million, $1.6 million. So that number is now in his head, $1.6 million, $1.6 million, $1.6 million. How does a $30,000 a month payment, after he's seen the incomes, like Dr. Damadian pointed out, and he sees the model of the incomes, and he sees that he can make all this money, and then you throw in that the way you showed him those numbers already included that monthly payment. That's a pretty strong closing tool. And that makes them feel like there was a drop in it. Psychologically, they feel like a drop. What I would actually do very often is I would give them a shorter term note payment to intentionally show them like a $100,000 a month payment. So that when that one wasn't good and then I knew I still had another drop in payment, it's as if I was negotiating with them and trying to do everything I could to help them out without giving them $1 off the price and without affecting our bottom line. Now, when you get to that person in the final, like I said, it's an if I could, would you at that point. So that's really the way I would present the price. First is the full dollar price. This is the way we do it. Get them to then admit, oh, it's just other than that it's a lump sum of 1.6, this is what you want to do to move forward. I tell you what, I'm so sorry I didn't go into this. You know, we have some financial options that I can present to you. Let me show you what I might be able to do instead of the 1.6 million. And you make that first drop to a big payment. And then you say, well, how does that work for you? So other than the $100,000 a month, if I could make it affordable for you within the business plan I've already showed you with it paid off, if I can make that affordable for you, are you ready to move forward? Let me ask you, in the scheme of what I showed you, in the financials I showed you, what kind of payment do you think would be something you'd be able to handle, knowing that there's $200,000 coming in on the back end? Get them to tell you. You know what they're thinking? They're thinking $50,000 a month. You know, they're not thinking it's going to be lower than that. It's got to be something reasonable. And then you make that drop to 30. I happen to think that that's a substantial way of psychologically giving somebody a drop without ever giving up a penny. How many people buy a car on the lot today and actually ask what the total price of the car is? There's one. Very few. When you notice when you go on a lot, when you go onto a lot, try it, trust me or not, you could go test it driving home, go on the lot, they will never talk about the full price of the payment, or full price of the car. All they will ask you is, what can you afford a month? And then they'll take you to what they can put you in. And then they'll try to bump you for another $50 or $100 a month to try to bump you up, or they'll get you excited about something that's $200 more and see if they can get you out driving it. But they never talk about the full price of the car. You know what? I think that actually frustrates people. But if they were to hold at that and say, this is the price, get you to agree, oh God, I would love to have that car if I could just give you the $35,000. Oh, I feel like such an idiot. I wish I would have shown you. You know what? You don't have to come up with $35,000. I have all kinds of packages to make this comfortable. What would be most comfortable for you in an investment of this magnitude? And if you hadn't given them the price yet and you were holding out the way I suggest, you're going to hear all kinds of things. Especially what you're going to hear is buying questions or selling questions. Yes?
The biggest trick they have,
yeah.
Let's say your monthly payment is $500,
yeah,
but you have to put down $4,000.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
The customer doesn't figure in that the $4,000 has to be divided by 36 months.
That's right. There are lots of ways of showing an investment that build tremendous excitement. Your biggest stockbrokers, I know you all know people that are in the financial industries. The guys who are making the most money in the financial industries are the guys that can get immediate rapport, know what the client wants, and fit them to exactly what they want. And they all are balls of energy. Go into any top producer. These are not people that sit around and hope things are going to happen. They go out and they make them happen on their personality, on their excitement, on their energy. So these are all important points, but the money, if I was shown and I was able to hold it, and I could show you where an average running location, average, at the break-even point, that break-even point at that 9 still includes the monthly payment on the machine. So if I now show you how we're going to market to get it to 20 instead of 9 or 10, that $30,000 you're going to pay that would have broken you even, now look at how much cash is on the back end of that. Once you kick over your break-even point, now we get you the 10th a week or a day, the 11th, the 12th. Do you see how it starts to multiply your profit side? That payment is very small compared to what the investment returns. I mean, it just is. And with this idea with builders, boy, if you can get a 30-year note with the builder,
typically commercial property, they usually the notes are a little lower.
Even if it's 20, it makes the payment so considerably less that it's less of a drain. I mean, I think, and it brings you the income side of it. So that's really a fabulous.
Just in the calculations.
Yeah.
60 months, 1.5 million, 8%, 30,000 a month. Yeah, 30,000 a month.
Right.
30 years or 20 years, 12,000 a month. 30 years, 11,000 a month. So you go from 50,000 to 11,000.
Right. With the builder. I mean, that's one I would certainly be calling builders. I'd actually have one of my maybe assistants go down and pull the building permits for me. Or I'd go down and do it, one or the other. Everybody who's building a building like that has plans in way ahead of time. You call them up and go, I have a fabulous idea with an unbelievable investment that we can prove is already making lots of people money, and I can show you how it's going to help you pay off the mortgage of the building you're about to break ground on. I think builders would probably want to at least entertain it. You know where you might have to pitch them? Out on the job site at 6 o'clock in the morning, but who cares? Because you want to catch a builder, get up early, go out driving, because they're all out there before it gets light. They're waiting on their job sites for their people to get them started. That's where builders are. We've been in the alarm business for a long time. When we have to hunt down an owner, that's right where he is. Early in the morning on the job site. Because then he leaves. And then you won't catch him the rest of the day because he's out doing whatever else he has to do, but they always inspect their job sites. Just a little trick with builders, which I happen to think would be a great place for us. Anything else? Come on, guys. See, I turn every objection into a positive in my advantage, if you haven't noticed that yet. I make it where I'm hoping they're going to object. The person who I'm scared of is the person who doesn't talk the entire presentation. I wonder what, I'm obviously not doing the job. I'm not getting them fired up. I can't draw out one question from them. That's the guy who scares me in sales. Yes, Lou.
I just wanted to share with the rest of the group what I mentioned to you. If you're going to be calling people, you actually have a number of things that you can do with that person on the other end of the call. Hopefully you'll get somebody that will be interested in buying a magazine. But maybe you won't. But maybe you'll get somebody who's interested in investing. So you save that contact and put them in the investor box. Maybe they love the technology, they wouldn't buy it, but they want to know where they can refer that patient. You put that contact in another box. So your mission shouldn't just be to sell a magnet. You have, and then you can put together deals yourself. You have enough people in the investor box, and you come across a doctor who wants to buy it, but he can't get financing. But you have this collection of investors that you could approach. That's how you could put together deals. So
absolutely.
The calling, I think, is going to be very, very productive time.
Yeah. I'd like